What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Samuel from Audionerdz, and today I'm going to show you something mind-blowing with Synplant 2. Synplant is a VST experimental thingy, synthesizer and more that I first used in my EP Metaprogram language in 2012 for the track Metaprogram language and for many other productions back then, because it's quite amazing when it comes to experimenting. And they absolutely amped up the game with this new release of Synplant. I yesterday explored it for the first time and I had a blast. I was first going through patches from that were already in the tool, and then I started to explore Genopatch, I think it is called. Yeah, Genopatch. And this is what I'm going to show you today. Genopatch is a way you take a sample and put it into Genopatch in Synplant 2, and it would splice out of that sample many different patches that are growing like DNA splices, basically. It's super amazing, and I want to show you how that thing works. So let's head over here. I'm going to be over there, and our Synplant is here. If you open up the Synplant, then something like that shows. In our case, there is already a patch from yesterday, but we are going to create a new one, and this works really simple. Here's your interface. Here you load in the sample, load reference sound, and here you start to generate patches. It's so very simple. I did that yesterday with a new sample library available on audionerdz.net right now, which is called High Tech Foundry. And the first sound that I took was Comb SH, and I didn't change anything there because I didn't know how that works. Actually, you can, now I know, you can take this and you can basically, switch which part of the sample you want to use for the generation process. Can we expand it? No, we can't, but we can start splicing. And it will just start different generations. And we can can that if we want to swap the point. The interesting thing so let's say I like this one, for example. Then what we can do is save that as a patch if we like. Because this is now over here. And we can play it. So I took a sound from my hardware synthesizer, but you can take any sound and I made this from it, some sound, and it's a really interesting way of creating, of course. Okay, since I loaded in a new Synplant, my MIDI setup is not working, but what you can also do is you can do stuff like this, and actually you can do this, and there is even a way to turn the whole plant. This thing is just so mad, and you can then go inside your patch if you really want to. But quite frankly, I don't see a real point there. For me, Synplant has been, even the first one, and I appreciate so much that they stuck with what they do best and just put it on a new level. And experiment. It's an experimental tool. It's not a modular rebuild or model. It's not a classic subtractive or a classic FM synthesis model. It is an experimental model that incorporates samples, that incorporates complex modulations, and an experimental UI that is weird but beautiful. I don't actually know what I just did. Yesterday I had a modulation to turn the whole thing. I don't know where that one is. Release atonality. Oh, really? There's so much stuff happen that one way of working with the thing is really, while you're experimenting, to press the record button, because it's an experimental tool. You don't know what is happening, actually. It's also really cool on a touch interface, I believe. Unfortunately, the touch screen of my laptop, I have this dual screen laptop, and yes, you can put it on there. I could put it on there right now, but then you wouldn't see it anymore. And then you could touch it, but it's fairly small. Let me put that over there. Yeah, it doesn't even fit fully because, yeah, it's half the height of a 1080p screen. So, but imagine this thing on a touch screen. That would be even more mind-blowing in my opinion. But okay, before I'm getting carried away, actually, I liked this sound. We can also go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. How cool is that? And I don't know how that happened. I mean, I really know how subtractive synthesizers work. I have so much experience in designing patches in subtractive synthesizers. If you understood one, you understood all, basically. And then it's a question of filling through the different interfaces and understanding them. But if you understood one, you understood all. This thing isn't really meant to be understood entirely. I mean, it is, of course, you know, like all of the things can be traced in the DNA, which is also bonkers. And it looks way more complex than it is, because it actually gets broken down. It's way more easy to understand. And they even have an explanation. I didn't see that. They do have an explanation down there. But if you have so many possibilities of splicing sound, quite frankly, why? You know, why would you go into that interface? Maybe, but I don't really see the point, you know what I mean? And let's do another sound in GenoPatch, but let's save this first. How do I save patch? Hi, Syn. I don't know. Syn. Not the greatest name, maybe, but I want to do something. I want to go over here, delete this, and put something else inside. Let's go into my music folder 2023. We can go anywhere, but let's go into All My Soul Piano. And then, I mean, we can use sounds from me. Yeah. What happens if we put a piano inside? What is this recording? Higher piano. And then, what is this recording? Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, let's put this one inside. And now we need to choose something. I believe it could be here. We need to try a couple of them. No, here, let's try maybe here. It sounds too dull. It's not a good point. Let's try here. Oh, cool. It doesn't do anything. Then let's try over here. Why is it not? Okay, that's weird. Let's load in a different sound. Let's load in this piano. Not as interesting as my Virus FX sound for sure. Let's go look for something else. What happens if we put in a vocal, for example? That comes from a vocal.
But it wasn't scary, it wasn't terrible.
I don't really know how he comes to that from that little vocal, but let's see what he does here. Nothing again. Let's try out maybe this. Yeah, so basically what I learned is that it definitely likes complex sounds more. So let's put in something more complex. Yeah, you see. It makes more interesting things with more complex wave. Wait a second. So for example, let's say like we do want to have that LFO. Yeah, rate. You know, in a subtractive synthesizer it would be so easy to clock an LFO. But here, not so easy. But nevertheless, I want the LFO to be faster. Let's see. It's not that LFO. I want the SHR, mod SH. It is this one. Okay, let's go back. Let's see if we can go back to... Yeah. Ah, wait, so you can then open that here. Oh my god, it's so well designed. It's so much better than the first one. Obviously, I mean, this is a hell of a lot newer than the first one. it's a really cool sound. And that's amazing. So, okay, I want to actually save this one as well. Save patch. Para sh tarot. Whatever. And now we can, because I like it as it is, so that's why I saved it. And now we can fuck it up. Too cool. All of that from one simple sample. So this is, I think, how I will use it mostly, because for tonal things, you can use really other things, let's be frank here, you know? But for atonal experimental things where you just like go and break things, you can also use your MIDI controller mod wheel. Awesome, guys. I really enjoyed that. And here we go. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. That would be nice to let the algorithm know that you did enjoy this. And let me know what is your favorite experimental tool for making those kinds of FX and soundscapes and experimental things that I just showcased here into this direction. Of course, there is, I believe, nothing really like Synplant because it's a really unique idea. I would be interested in knowing the person who came up with this idea, because there must have been one guy who one day was like, dude, wouldn't it be cool to have a synthesizer that is a plant? And then was like going from there and creating the first Synplant, which was already a really cool tool. But this is so next level. It's such a leap in technological development and design enhancement. The whole thing, the more I use it, the more it becomes clear that this is an insanely cool tool, awesomely designed, very smart, and very capable of producing hyper interesting sounds. It is truly a super amazing tool in the toolbox. I'm happy that I tried it out. With that said, I wish you a wonderful day. Don't forget that you're beautiful, and I see you guys very soon.